Hello, this is Old Man Gaming, and this is the next installment of the top 10 magic items based on rarity. This week is the rare magic items. Let me know how the list compares to what you think in the comments. Without further ado, let's get to number 10. At number 10 on the list is the portable hole. It's a rather useful item. It's essentially a small bag of holding. So it's a great way to smuggle in items or people into any kind of situation. There's a lot of creative ways to use a portable hole, especially to create a portal to the astral plane. Placing a portable hole inside an extra-dimensional space created by a bag of holding, or handy haversack, or similar items, instantly destroys both items and opens a gate to the astral plane. Any creature within 10 feet of the gate is sucked through it and deposited in a random location on the astral plane. So you could kind of use it like banishing Zod into the Phantom Zone. If you're up against an enemy that you are unable to beat, then you could potentially create this little black hole and send the big bad evil guy to some random place in the astral plane and hope he doesn't find his way back. That one thing is essentially a nuke. Means that it needs to be at least on the list, and so we got it at number 10. At number 9, we have the Mantle of Spell Resistance. You have advantage on saving throws against spells while you wear this cloak. Not much to say about this. It is pretty clearly good. It's very good for a frontline meat shield, like a barbarian or a fighter. In the 8th spot is the Sunblade. It's essentially a +2 magic longsword that deals radiant damage. You can also use it as a torch. The light that it emits is sunlight. If I had this, I would actually seek out a way into Strahd's little pocket dimension. Let's just say that that vampire won't know what hit him. At number 7, we have Robe of Eyes. While wearing this robe, you gain the following benefits. The robe lets you see in all directions, and you have advantage on perception checks. You have dark vision out to a range of 120 feet. We'll come back to that. You can see invisible creatures and objects. You can see into the ethereal plane. You can get blinded if somebody casts the light spell or the daylight spell on you, but that's not going to happen all that often. But dark vision out to 120 feet is so powerful. There are very few monsters that can see in darkness out to 120 feet. Give this to a ranger or a rogue or an arcane archer or any ranged spellcaster, and you've got death from the shadows. They're going to have advantage on all their attacks. They just have to keep their distance, and they'll be able to see the enemy, and the enemy will not be able to see them. At number 6, we've got the Cloak of Displacement. Every creature attacking you has disadvantage on their attacks against you. Every creature. This is perfect for everyone in the party. Now we get a little bit more of an interesting item. This is the Cube of Force. It's essentially a die with little icons on each side. And if you click the icon, then the appropriate effect occurs. The effect is a 15-foot cube barrier. What that barrier stops depends on how many charges you use. The cube has 36 charges, and each side of the cube requires a different number of charges. Obviously, the most powerful one, number 5, not allowing anything to pass through it, requires 5 charges. The barrier lasts for 1 minute, so likely going to be combat specific. Or a tricky dungeon room. For instance, maybe there's a dungeon room with a whole lot of poisonous gas. Click the 1, have a person walk across the poisonous gas. Click number 6 to collapse the cube back down to its 1-inch size. Toss it across the room and repeat for the rest of the party. I will say that face number 4 is my favorite. Spell effects can't pass through the barrier. Pretty great for all of your non-casters. In the 4th slot is the Ring of Spell Storing. The ring stores spells cast into it, holding them until the attuned wearer uses them. The ring can store up to 5 levels worth of spells at a time. While wearing the ring, and of course being attuned to it, you can cast any spell stored in it. The spell uses the slot level, spell save DC, spell attack bonus, and spell casting ability of the original caster. So if you have a barbarian that gets a little excited and goes right into the middle of things and needs a way to get out of town really quickly, well, give him this and a Misty Step. Don't want to have a bard use his concentration on Fairy Fire and instead use it on something else? Give the ring to one of your melee fighters. They're not using concentration on anything. Want to see the enemy wizard cower? Show him that your rogue has the ability to cast a fireball out of it. Very handy, and that is why it's at number 4. At number 3, we have Wand of Fireballs. Pretty self-explanatory. This wand does require a caster to be wielding it. However, this wand has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 or more of its charges to cast the fireball spell. Save DC 15. For 1 charge, you cast the 3rd level version. You can increase the slot level by 1 for each additional charge you expend. Just don't use all of them. If you use the last charge, then you have a 5% chance of losing this amazing wand. So always leave 1 in the tank. The point is, it's a lot of damage and does not require a spell slot to be used. 6 fireballs a day, that's why it makes its appearance at number 3. At the illustrious number 2 slot is the Helm of Teleportation. It has 3 charges, 1 charge per teleport spell, and the teleport spell allows you and 8 of your friends to teleport anywhere on the plane of existence you're currently on that you've heard of. There's a chance that it could have negative effects, but if you're more familiar with the location, then the success rate is pretty high. 3 7th level spell slots. 3. It's powerful. That's why it's number 2. Now time for honorable mention. Didn't quite make the list. Is the Ring of X-Ray Vision. It does exactly what the ring is called. Another honorable mention, Wand of Paralysis. Allows you to paralyze up to 7 creatures if they fail their save. Great to have, not a top 10. And finally, a consumable, the Potion of Invulnerability. For 1 minute, you have resistance to all damage. Pretty great when you're fighting those big bad evil guys. And at number 1 is the Brass Horn of Valhalla. Use an action to blow the horn, and in response, 3d4 plus 3 berserkers from Valhalla descend to help you in whatever you're trying to accomplish. There is one caveat to it. The fact that you can only do it once per week is a little rough, but that's 9 extra people. That's crazy. That will swing any combat, no matter how powerful the enemies are, into your favor. And berserkers are no joke. Take a look at these stats. 13 AC, okay, not great. But 67 hit points each? They've got reckless attack, which they're always going to use because they're berserkers. And they come equipped with a great axe. You have 9 barbarians. Just throw them at any problem. You've got 2 extra parties of allies just ready to be used. So if you can take 1 party and turn it into 3 parties, pretty good magic item. Why it gets number 1. And that is my top 10 rare magic items. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, like, subscribe, you know what to do. Better yet, come check out my Twitch. Link's in the description.